Here's record. Okay. So Shreyas, thanks for building this doc. Would love to get your thoughts about what you were thinking about when you created this doc.
Thanks, Al. So pre-mortems are a type of meeting that I have used quite frequently over the past 5 or 6 years. And I've found them to be super helpful in terms of preventing problems before they occur, and especially important for product launches or big PR pushes or other major changes that you might be making to your product or your policies. And so the structure of the pre-mortem is that there are 4 parts to it. And so this doc shows you how to tackle each of these 4 parts in a very easy manner that doesn't require a ton of work and rework for you as you go through the pre-mortem process from one project to another.
Great. You want to walk us through the steps?
Yes, let's do it. So the first part of the pre-mortem process, this is the pre-mortem meeting, remember, is to set the context of why we are here. And the core call to action for your team is to think of at least 2 tigers and any paper tigers and elephants that are associated with this product launch. And then they can enter it in this section 1 and sort of enter it any way they want. They should ideally just, take, 5 minutes to enter it, maybe 5 more minutes to kind of think about if they're missing something, and then they're done with this section. Another thing to remember is that this part of the meeting is supposed to be asynchronous. So you can do it, you don't have to be in the same room. You can kind of do it, beforehand as well if you want. But ideally, you're doing this in a way that everybody can afterwards go to the next section, which is that they will sort of add their ideas in this table. And so this is quiet time. Nobody's supposed to speak during this time. And so they'll just go ahead and add whatever ideas they had around tigers, paper tigers, and elephants over here. They select the type of the idea, whether it was a paper tiger or an elephant or a tiger right here.
And can you quickly just give the definition of each of these elements? I know you talked about in the first write-up, but curious what these are really briefly.
Absolutely. So a tiger is a threat or a concern that you have with a product that you think is going to be really harmful. So just like a tiger that's going to kill you, it is a threat that you're worried about. This is a potential failure case that you're concerned about. And try to be as specific as you can about what the tiger is. So that's the tiger. A paper tiger looks like a tiger, but is not actually concerning. And what that is it's usually things that others on the team may be worried about. Maybe they've shared that with you in the past, but you know that it's not going to be a problem because you own that problem and you're all over it and there's nothing to worry about. So a paper tiger acts as a good way for you to share certain things that you're not worried about and to reassure your team. And then lastly, the elephant may not be a threat per se, is not an immediate threat like a tiger is, but it is something that you're worried nobody on the team is talking about. So it's the proverbial elephant in the room. And so the pre-mortem process gives you this opportunity to also just share in a very psychologically safe way what the elephants are that you're concerned that nobody's talking about.
Perfect. Thank you. And then once people around the room have added their ideas, they've moved down to the next quiet time number 2, right?
Yes. So at this point, once everybody's added their issues, you can see those issues right here. And now it's quiet time again, because you need to ask the team, as the meeting leader, you need to ask the team to go through these issues and just think about them. Think about which ones resonate, which ones perhaps don't resonate. And for the ones that resonate, just +1 them in that column, like Al is doing right here. So the rule I like to have, and this is not a strict rule, but I like to set a rule that you get up to 5 +1s. So you can't just +1 everything, and that forces you and your team to prioritize the issues that resonated the most, the issues that you're most concerned about.
And then once everyone votes, the meeting facilitator can click on this checkbox to sort the issues, and everything gets kind of sorted instantaneously, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite features of this Coda doc, is that it just makes it so much easier to be able to look at the top issues very quickly.
Great.
All right. So the next step after that is now everybody's +1 the issues. You're able to see which issues are bubbling up to the top. Now, quiet time is over. So now you get an opportunity to share and reflect. And so I usually just go around the room and ask people to name, at least one tiger that resonated really, strongly with them, something they're really worried about that they want to call out, preferably something that they did not flag, but some other team member flagged. And while that is going on, as the sort of meeting leader, I also try to sort of categorize the issues into themes. And so that's the next section, which is where, you don't have to do all of this live. But one of the key things that I like to do at the end of the meeting, after the reflection and the discussion is done, is to give the team a heads up on the next steps, which is, look, I'm already starting to categorize. I'm already starting to see some themes emerge. And the next step is going to be for me to further categorize these things and sort the tigers and paper tigers according to these themes. And then I'm going to think about some mitigating actions. And I'm going to post them in this table in the right column. And I'm also going to propose a DRI, a directly responsible individual, who's going to then own thinking through these mitigating actions further, and then creating a concrete plan around which issues need to be mitigated. So that's what's shown here. Is it's useful to show the team a preview of what I am going to own as somebody who's facilitating this, and what the output is that they can expect of this process.
And then the final output is the actual action plan, which I think was just this next page by itself, which is what you, the meeting facilitator, would do as the deliverable for the team. Is that right?
Exactly. So, after we've had the pre-mortem meeting, I will take a day or two to organize all of this. And this is what the output will look like. And notice we have verbatim tiger elephants in the second column. And that's really important, because your team needs to feel like, their exact issue has been captured the way they intended. And so what we are trying to do here is not list all of the issues or all of the themes, because you need not solve every single problem that has been anticipated. What's important here is to identify the highest priority problems and then sort them, categorize them, and then accordingly propose mitigating actions against those highest priority potential problems. So hopefully you can have a smooth launch.
Great. Thank you so much for walking us through the doc, Shreyas.
Thank you so much. This was a blast.
All right. That is